Welcome to the Hermitcraft Recap. My name is Pixel Riffs, our writer is ZloyXP. It was either filing a lawsuit or this, and paperwork is boring.
No, we're going to do some cool work over here today and hopefully get it looking better, working better, and being better.
If you're wondering what on earth we're talking about, in his latest episode all about planning out plots and roads between those plots over at the Gaming District, ZF did a bang-up job ripping off our style and putting together a Gaming District recap.
Welcome to the Gaming District Recap. My name is Zedaf, and our writer is also named Zedaf. And today we're going to be taking a look at what games we currently have in the Gaming District.
We've already planned our revenge in the form of a Chorus Chaos compilation, so he'll get the humiliation he deserves later on. For now, with all that out of the way, let's take a look at... I know they started a Hermit Skies series playing Project Ozone Lights together. I was about to get to it. Eesh.
We're playing Project Ozone Lights, which you can get on the Twitch Curse launcher.
Before any of you ask, we doubt we'll have enough time in our lives to cover Hermit Skies properly. We definitely won't make another recap channel specifically for it, but we might do a day one recap covering all the first episodes of the series. But for now, we're not making any promises.
And then we've got all of these that are heading off to other people's islands. We can go and visit them at some point.
On a more serious note, Hermitcraft's own tinfoil chef had an actual real heart attack this week and is fine, but will be taking a bit of time to chill before he gets back to making videos. Naturally, we at the recap wish him a comprehensive recovery, and it'd be really cool if you guys went to his latest video and sent him your well wishes. Now that that's settled, transition us away, Zed.
But I think if you blink, we will see a beautiful transformation. 3, 2, 1, go!
Following along with last week's trend of nether tunnels, Rendog gets around to designing his own after dying, losing all his stuff, then dying again, and reportedly breaking Iskel's pigman farm. Of course.
It doesn't look to me like the farm's broken. In fact, it looks to me like the farm is working absolutely perfectly.
The uranium tunnel he comes up with allows the user to boat about the nether at USB 3.0 speeds. In fact, he calls his nether portal room a USB stick or something along those lines. Let's just hope the corporations won't throttle his blocks per second. Hashtag support nether neutrality.
I've come up with a really cool name for this thing. I'm gonna name this tunnel the Nether Loop. You know, like the Hyperloop? You know? Because it's in the nether and it's a speed tunnel and it doesn't sound as cool when I say it out loud as it did in my brain. But
Wells puts together his nether tunnel too, opting for a much humbler travel speed in favour of sightseeing value. This being a tunnel to medieval times, the interior of it is also all medieval timey. We'll let the viewers decide on their own if that's just an excuse to once again go for a design with stone bricks and oak planks. On the other side of his portal, however, one will find the cathedral in its structurally finished state. By Wells' latest episode, there are no more holes in the roof, holes in the walls, and bats in the belfry.
I think it works very well, and it fits with the rest of the cathedral by adding those cobblestone walls and then the iron bars on top.
Still, if you could tally up all the stone brick placed on the server throughout the week, Impulse SV would be on the leaderboard, because Atlantis needs walls, and he plans to fill the space between them with fancy stuff. Eventually. For now, he's distracted by the first order to come in at his community area shop, Stress Monster requesting an enchanted elytra.
You know what? I hope I didn't miss the delivery date. So she didn't... Okay, whenever. Whenever pass. You know, I love how she writes just like she talks.
It's not really a problem for the guy who just casually burned 200 levels on enchanted books and only stopped because he ran out of lapis. Except the request is actually a complete troll by Stress, who was literally wearing an enchanted elytra when she placed the order. This might just be her passing the torch to Impulse after getting a troll request from Cub at her redstone shop.
I do! Oh god. Help with mushroom farm. Oh, he spelled it how I spell it! Cub, that's cute! Cub, like, I know that I just gave you a bit of paper to write on, but you want help with, have you done this now? How long has this been here?
But to Stress's credit, she actually does some redstone this week, even if it's just a few powered rails to link her base to the Nether Hub by minecart. And if you're thinking, what base? You're in luck, because she tours her entire swampland home for episode 50, and it's looking pretty good these days. So yeah, Stress might be as good of a troll as Evil Azuma, and while he didn't show up this week, we did get a mildly frustrated Azuma when he decided to try out Tango's Derp Dropper minigame. Needless to say, the derp has been dropped, albeit at a slower rate than he'd prefer.
Derp Dropper, get to the bottom as fast as you can. Then we're going to go to this corner, we're going to... let's shimmy from corner to corner. No, let's not shimmy, because then we're going back up. Oh, I got mistake back. That's a bonus, right. Strategy's not working, there's the bottom, pressure, bam, and that's the end of it.
Not to worry though, as X will surely cause a lot of frustration to the rest of the server too when they try out his segment of the Boat Bros minigame. It's not at Portal 2 levels of friendship ruination, but it's up there for sure. In the meantime, Azuma completed a very complicated project at his base, making a lamp light up when there's no fuel in the furnace. And that's not sarcasm, he really did manage to overcomplicate it. Threw together a snow farm for funsies and also to slaughter enough snow golems into surrendering their head to him. Implemented a community designed mural on top of his Nether Hub tunnel, nice job on those statues by the way guys. And commissioned a witch hut at Wells's build shop, so there's a collab in the making. You know who else needs a collab? Joe Hills, perhaps with Zedaf, because it seems like stumbling into someone else's territory is a running theme for Zed.
I'm just gonna assume that this is like a Zedafs or something, because it's absolutely ludicrous. Let's hope that this portal takes me back to where I was, because that's gonna be a problem otherwise.
Joe spends all that time getting diamonds and thrashing obsidian, only to discover a certain Englishman is very close to the hub he wants to build between the landmarks of Red Sky Bay. After throwing down in the Nether, Joe decides it's time to be thankful, and finds a turkey big enough to do the job. I mean, I'm from England. That's how Thanksgiving works, right? You build a big wooden turkey and you sacrifice stuff to it so the winter will be short and next year's harvest works out. Because if so, False Symmetry is nailing it. Yes, it's her who put that statue there, and yes, she isn't American in the slightest. I know this because I met her at the Minecon Earth party in London, which she was kind enough to mention in her video. I even have proof right there in the iCards. It's my Minecon Earth vlog, and it has Mumbo Jumbo making this face. False happens to have some more unfinished business at the community area, as in it's literally a collection of businesses that are unfinished over in her little shopping centre. And this is us calling in all available Ren dogs to Isle False because it now has pet rocks for sale. Come adopt your Moses or Dwayne Johnson or Freddie Mercury or whatever. You laugh, but that was her most successful business from last season.
Okay, any name you want. It can just be Bob, John, Fred, Wilma. Whenever I say Fred, I automatically assume the next name is Wilma. I don't know.
Finally, False gets back to her base and removes the last traces of Carbon Scar's prank on her, effectively removing half of the pirate-themed things from her supposedly pirate island. Plus, she might have built a mansion or two around there, but we wouldn't know. That episode came out midway into us writing this script.
But you know what? Oh my goodness, that went off in a spectacular fashion.
Some Curse of the Seven Seas might have gotten itself stuck to Cub, because the guy has the worst luck looking for Sponge in the water dungeons.
At this point, a 3-hour journey and a 15 Elder Guardian killing rampage ensued. It also unfortunately took me 5 tries to find an ocean monument with a sponge room.
This is pretty much the worst timing ever too, as he needs Sponge to clear out his plus-shaped slime chunks and maybe to scrub some dishes while he's at it. Once out of the water, the Sponge is promptly donated to Aquascar, complete with a ton of squid faces he's gathered while messing around the place.
I'm gonna be cleaning so many kitchen sinks, it's gonna be incredible.
Surprisingly, for once, Cub doesn't go for the most efficient way of dealing with things and decides that instead of AFK auto-murderizing the slime cubes, he'll make the lowest level of his farm into a gelatinous cube battling area. Can't blame the guy for living on the edge. Which, speaking of battle arenas, isn't there one nearly completed somewhere around the server? Cub's building skills are quickly called upon by Rendog, who decides to use the elven city of Fred as an excuse to get the old Kingdom Craft gang back together.
What I want to do is I want to get some hermits involved. Some of the really good builders. I want them to come out here and build something cool. False is going to come out here. Stress is going to come out here. Scar's going to come out here.
Okay.
Pretty much all the Kingdom Craft people.
Nice, nice.
Mayhaps in a crowd they'll make enough construction noise to get the thing finished already. Or maybe all that noise will be drowned out by Iskall building another factory. All that tectoplasm has to be coming from somewhere, and his latest build is squeezing it out right into the lake. Apparently the secret of the ooze is that it's made of lime concrete. But there's a little green terracotta mixed in, and that means a trip to the long-deserted NHO Mesa, and also a musical number, because that's how you lament the loss of a nemesis.
I'm reaching out. Someone please call NHO. Tell them I just got shot down and the bullets in my heart. NHO, where you at, bros? Where you at?
And before you type "bring back the NHO" in our comments section, there ain't a whole lot we can do about it, folks. I mean, we've tried to become his new nemesis, but there's only so many times we can say Iskall's from Denmark or call it tectoplasm before we just have to give up. And now that I think about it, what's Tango Tech been up to lately?
I went ahead and made a little auto hotkey script, so check this out. Watch, I got the bound to Control J.
Sure, he couldn't even go about basic tasks without trying to automate them. The mass production of dispensers is not without a reason. The man needs his epic elytra tunnel to the community area, and he needs it with fiery special effects. It must be all that nether work rubbing off on him. You can only get punched by wither skeletons so many times before you start thinking like one.
Oh, thank you.
When Mumbo goes to the nether though, he gets punched by wolves.
Oh gosh! Dog! No!
So the passive mob farm works well. Depositing everything in the nether is actually a decent strategy if you take the spoons out of the equation, and once an auto-killing mechanism is in place, there's no danger of Mumbo throwing himself to the dogs. And if that wasn't enough, this week he finally color codes himself some shulker boxes, and even color codes his own inventory so he can remember to bring an ender chest with him. We also say a fond farewell to Bumbo Coralloni as Mumbo strips all the coral out of his aquarium, but I have a feeling he'll be back once 1.14 comes around. And finally, there's good times with Scar, bringing back something his fans thought would never resurface, for the gunpowder farm, or at the very least its outer shell, is from now on the property of the notorious CDF organization.
If you're a longtime Scar scriber, you know what the CDF is. That's the Cat Defense Force. That is right. So this is the Cat Defense Force building. This is where the Cat Defense Force brings their creepers and imprisons them to be harvested later for gunpowder.
How the modernish exteriors affected the spawn rates and the gunpowder outputs we're yet to measure, but the joy of having a creeper farm run by cats is immense.
Is if we could, color coordinate these chests. So say I want this one brown, and I have the outer rim kind of like a dark gray or black, like that'd look really cool. Or this, yeah, I just wish we could color coordinate these a little bit better.
Scar, that'd just mean even more mess. But that's all we've got time for in this week's recap. My name has been Pixel Riffs and our writer is ZloyXP. This week, Python GB and I fought the Wither in our Minecraft Harmony series, and if you want to see quite how badly we messed that up, the link will be right there in the end cards. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here, subscribe to the channel so you won't miss future recaps, and share this video with the Hermitcraft fans in your life. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.